Всем хай, вас приветствует команда GameTalk или Хаос или порядка Акмаил. Сейчас мы дальше поиграем в Call of Cthulhu и вынесем вердикт. Вообще стоит того игра, нет. Вот мы вчера прибыли в порт. Ну, на этом, в принципе, остановились. Нам показали, что здесь можно навыки чуть подкачать. Своеобразные. Что тут почитал комментарии, там даже Zone of Games пишет. Мало что-то там мрачного. Типа жути от Лавкрафта. Ну так, блядь. Выкинь свой 1080-й GeForce, поставь себе 560-й, будет тебе враг и зло. Минимум графики, максимум тормозов. И бойся от первого монстра, от которого ты лагающий будешь убегать. В принципе-то. Ну, хотя сейчас посмотрим, что дальше будет происходить. Оно, конечно, из самых жестких игр. Ну, по хоррорам, то, что я играл за последнее там время, это был Outlast. Сейчас посмотрим, как себя покажет Call of Cthulhu. Хотя мужик все равно мне напоминает мужика из вампира. Так, вот здесь мы вчера и остались. Ты кто?
Hey, Sullivan, can't you go any faster?
You've seen how old this thing is. If we force it too much, we'll break everything.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
Крабы.
Cops, they can't understand. Damn stupid idiots. Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway. That's no way.
The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
Рожа у него, конечно, жесть.
They seem to be very agitated about a dead animal.
You're telling me? These fools think that putting the whale back in the water will bring about the end of the world.
They're superstitious.
If only you knew. They only listen to Captain Fitzroy. And not always. And you. What brings you to our island?
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
I like you, so I'll be frank with you. Don't go near the place. Don't try to get in.
Why?
Because I told you so. Learn to accept some friendly advice. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. Oh
Yeah.
yeah? It's a sign. He's gonna get us in trouble.
Нас дружески предупредили, что ответить нам люлей.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
Какой странный фонарик.
Broken. This place seems half abandoned. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
Просто там чувак стоит, а мы просто ходим и смотрим, что происходит. Интересный подход, но...
This blackboard hasn't been used in a long while. The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
Дед, наверное, там в шоке, что мы вот тут
This man and Fitzroy could be twins.
Ни хрена не написано.
What a macabre souvenir.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck. I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
Не хочет он с нами разговаривать. Чувака вообще странная растительность на башке, еще и зеленого цвета.
Hey, be careful.
Подъебал. Красавец.
Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
You saw it just like me. That bum deserved a lesson.
Yeah, but he's a regular, and you're not.
I can see that you and I are off to a bad start. I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
Captain Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
Oh, yeah? That must have been before you came looking for a fight in my bar.
Oh, come on. Because of a little tussle.
Drinking it here is a privilege, and I grant the privilege to whoever I want. Anything else?
Полудурок, блин.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah, well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of Darkwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
Так,
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams.
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
And then he said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
And the doctor, what did he say?
что-то они прям
He laughed.
My God.
не самые красивые личности тут.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
Так, ну это типа давно минувшие времена.
She will do it again, you know. The girl doctor. Cold.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at
О, какой-то
various
психопат.
locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader.
Кто такой Фицрой? Фицрой, ты Фицрой?
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens. We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
It's a local legend?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
What report?
The one that's framed right behind you. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
Короче, понятно. Гринпис точно против этой игры будет. Кто такой, блядь, Фицрой? Вот это мы читали.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
Ага. Блядь, вот мне все больше и больше эта игра начинает напоминать вампир. Тут вся вот эта вот галиматья вот почти один в один. Так, мы можем что-то раскачать. Что, еще одно очко нужно? Ну, ёпта мать. И чё? Еще разочек надо будет вкачать силу и забыть про нее нахер. Бля, почему здесь персонажами имен нет? Ну, я так понимаю, вот эта тёлка очень... Кстати, тоже из какой-то, что-то, блядь, похожей игры, что-то. Судя по роже.
What you looking at, stranger?
О, а ты умеешь пить.
I've rarely seen a woman who can hold her liquor so confidently.
What gives you the right to judge me?
It was a compliment.
So what? Let me drink, stranger. I told you to beat it. I told you to beat it.
Ну ладно, пойдемте. Выпустите меня. Ты чё за хер? Ты Фицрой? Нет? Нет, ты не Фицрой.
I read the article on the miraculous catch. Interesting local folklore.
Don't get it into your head to repeat that round here. It's more than folklore. On that day, the crew of the Scylla caught an exceptional catch. The biggest whale ever caught. They saved Darkwater from famine.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings.
Так, это мы уже читали.
Never understand
I've got what I need.
anything.
Ну,
What
опять
can you
эти
tell me
фамилии.
about her?
We all knew then.
I've got what...
Anything else?
Captain Fitzroy.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
Drinking anything else?
Да.
that'll be all for now.
А здесь карты случайно, блядь, нету? Ты Фицрой или не Фицрой?
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins
Да.
cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
Где, блядь? А,
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
Слушайте, а он свалил, ёпта. Причем незаметно свалил. А он стоит.
I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Условия нашего соглашения однозначно. Держите своих людей под контролем, не задирайте нас. Мы вам не по зубам. Не труждайте себя ответом на это сообщение. Просто заплатите курьеру. Кэт. Кошечка. Кошечка наебала капитана. Так вот, ребята, с бабами сложновато. Фицрой.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Так.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. Their manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
The miraculous catch.
Теперь заебемся
Is it a local
чудесному
legend?
лову.
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
Так, нихера интересно.
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain Cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Yes, да. Перевод, блядь, какой-то вообще не душевный, пидорас.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Ha! Indeed, you're right.
Так.
I was looking at your photograph. One of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
Мы ее уже видели, спасибо. Хорошо, скажи спасибо, что не спиздили.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Блять, наконец-то дело дошло до склада. Ага, можно вкачать силу, наконец. Не-не-не-не. Что-то ни хера не качается, очень медленно. Ну ладно. Что-то здесь очень странный опыт идет. Ну ладно.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah?
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to Darkwater?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
Блять.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain?
Not.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
А хули делать? Говорю, Советский Союз. Делать нехер, будем бухать.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to
Сразу
abandon
вспоминается
it.
песенка «Гуляй, мужик, сектор газа». Ага.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Так, а я
Well,
правильно
Did you...
Да, уже.
I've taken enough of...
We'll
И как теперь на склад попасть? Заебись. Все как обычно. Просто так ничего не бывает. Слышь, говнюки, мне надо туда.
No idea. You better... What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. it'll stink less.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
Ну.
What happened to the statue of St. Brendan? Dreadful.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors?
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
What are you guarding, exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're...
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes.
She's the boss, yeah. She says who go...
Shut up, you dummy! You wanted to know that you...
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile.
I hope you had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand.
But he only smiles with the left.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
Что за херня-то?
I bid you, gentlemen.
Нет. Что делать? Теперь надо искать каждого пидораса, который меня может туда провести, да?
Where do you think you're going?
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
I'd like to know more about the Hawkins case.
I don't think so.
I'm not here to hinder your work, officer. Edward Pirs, private detective.
Sorry, we're all a little on edge today. What are you doing here?
I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
Darn it. Why do you want to drag up all that stuff again?
My investigation has led me to this warehouse.
That case was closed months ago.
Да херов там что, закрыли?
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone.
Блять, начинается вот. Мне чем-то игра не помню, как она называется. Не демоника, блять, я не помню название игры. Там вид сверху. Чуваком бегаешь. Воскрешаешь трупы.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
I shall take my leave.
Блять, как я должен пробрать? Ага. Надо будет навык поиска. Блин, ну я говорю, прям вот такое ощущение, что, говорю, с игры Вампир все рисовали. Вот. Те же самые склады, блять, очень сильно похожи.
I could use this old winch to lift the grating, but it's been completely taken to bits. There must be some spare parts amid all this clutter.
ЗБС.
It looks like there's a way in under this grate.
Ну.
A ratchet device. Exactly what I need.
Ну, храповник мы нашли. Что дальше?
A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
Ага, шестеренка.
It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch.
Чувак, блядь, убери зажигалку, идиот. Куда я нажал-то, ебаный в рот? Что теперь, зажигалка ходить будет постоянно? Ага, блядь, кто-то спрятал ручку.
This handle will be perfect for the winch.
Бери нахер зажигалку. Блядь, это издевательство. Блядь, как убрать зажигалку? О. СКМ. Что такое СКМ, ёпта? Блять, что такое СКМ? Мышка тоже не... О, я себе номер. Наверное, храповик сначала, потом колесико, потом рукоятка. Поехали.
Looks like everything is in its place. All I have to do is turn this handle.
Чуваки, мы сейчас поплывем. Наконец-то началось хоть что-то страшное. Ебать, кто-то затвердел, нахуй.
Smoke. It's coming from this oil. I hope it's not toxic. I hope it's...
Вот ты мута, ёпта. Ну, конечно, ёпта. С зипарем плыть это вообще шикарно. Что происходит, блядь? Схватили водоросли. Либо чувака таращит. Короче, походу этот коноплю жгут, а потом всех прет, ёпт, как собак.
This is primitive.
Да, this is primitive, да. Ага. Короче, Маус 3 у нас есть убрать свет. Сука, подглядывает. И куда дальше? Ага.
Oh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case?
Так, нам дали еще одно очко. Ну как очко, блин. Еще чуть-чуть силу поднимем, а дальше уже будем всякие расследования. Но я думаю, надо оккультизм будет поднять. Вообще, я так чувствую, эту игру не раз надо проходить, чтобы... Ну, что так, что произошло? Зажал я кнопочки.
What happened here?
Да хер его знает, что тут произошло. Хоть чувак раком стоит. Ага. Который ударил в стекло. Понятно.
Someone treasures this crumpled picture to the point of sleeping with it. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Что-то тут замучено, кстати, прикольно. Куча какого-то говна непонятно. Сейчас я чувствую, мы выйдем, а там телочка такая с трубочкой такая. Ага, ребятки. Тут...
Someone has settled in here. And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You, don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
You sent your men away. Bad idea. I see only one overweight police officer and one hardened veteran.
How dare you? I am a representative of the law.
Ты жирное дерьмо.
Relax. Look what I found. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene. Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again.
Телочка появилась.
This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley. You've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look
вот
behind
чё машина
you, at the top
преграждала.
of the ridge. You see the building?
Я еще пригляделся,
That's the
не
Hawkins
начали играть.
mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Нам достижения просто раздают на халяву, ёпта. Ни хера не делаешь, тебе просто дают достижения. Но, насколько я понимаю, тут еще и несколько концовок, но... Типа, первый ужас Аркхема нам показали, ёпта. Нас утащила какая-то килька вниз, ёпта, оказались водоросли. Я, кстати, на такой машине покатался. Мне интересно, как она себя ведет. Курточка у него, кстати, ничего. Кто-то за нами подглядывает.
Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion.
Он уже сгорел.
The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Так.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
I don't believe the fire is the only reason this house is in such a state.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around it, would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Честный такой товарищ, правоохранитель.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Ну,
Why
давай
not?
согласимся.
You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Так, чуть-чуть мы докачаем силу, это уже хорошо. Что-то он нас ни хера в особняк не ведет, а куда-то попадает. Жертвоприношение, что ли, собрался делать?
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined, but the architecture seems too recent.
И чё? Битая посуда.
Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute.
Не все,
I
смотрю.
didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial.
What
What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary?
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. Poor kid. Poor kid.
Ну и что ты встал?
The caretaker takes great care of these graves. Charles Hawkins' grave. Poor kid.
Что-то мне показывает, непонятно, в чем, блядь. Мы идем, нет. Иди ты в жопу, блядь. Нихеровый такой особнячок.
I'll have to find another entrance.
Сколько раритета, сколько раритета.
This entrance is still in use.
Сядьте, поговорим.
Whoa!
Ну почти.
You are trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater. What do you think you're doing? So talk, and no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
No one lives in the mansion, and you don't take care of it anymore. If you have a good reason to be here, I'm listening.
There's vermin. I keep an eye out.
Vermin?
Yeah, that's it, vermin.
Right. This is what we're going to do. I go inside, and I promise that I'll hunt vermin. Okay with you?
I'm not sure.
If there's nothing else to fear, you can give me that key.
Right. Take the key and do what you have to do. Go on then, just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
Охренеть, нам старик поебал, он давал.
What now?
Yes. Now that you finish your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go.
Ну, судя по его морде, походу, с топором старика познакомился.
Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you. Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
Еще один опыт. Опа. И чё тут еще можно? А, рассудок. Бля, как они любят эти восклицательные знаки. Вы не представляете. Все, мы избавились от восклицательных знаков. Пойдем сейчас обыскивать. Блять, тут все, короче, этим пропитано дымом марихуаны. Ну тут хер точно похож из игры Вампир, блядь, на дятла.
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me?
Что-то у него какие-то сверхъестественные способности, я хочу вам сказать.
This roast. What strange creature has flesh like this?
Ну давай я тебе внешне скажу, это похоже на... Я хер его знает, что-то морское, вообще какая-то лягушка странная. Ну да. Ктулху, блядь, Ктулху будет недоволен.
This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins.
И чё? Что-то Чарльз очень больно похож на нашего персонажа, за которого мы играем. Ну чё, я нашел место, блядь, откуда могла искра пойти. О. Люстра тут ни в при чем. Выйти из сумрака не получается, значит, что-то еще не нашли. Что, подзаебать, что ли, решили? Как отсюда выйти-то? Ой, блядь. Что я должен сделать-то? Тупим.
The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor.
Так. Вискарик, что ли, не пойму.
Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door.
То есть жрачка до сих пор здесь стоит и тухнет, да, я насколько я понимаю. А это вообще как бы даже не тронуто. Эх, хер ты где?
Silas managed to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer? Too much rubble. I'll find an easier way.
Да, идем, попроще сейчас будет.
Let's see if I can find something the cops missed.
Все, наконец мы силу до конца докачали. Дальше надо будет, наверное, оккультизм пытаться проточить, потом расследование. Да и вообще все подряд тут надо нахер качать, насколько я понимаю. Опять мы вошли в сумрак.
Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker?
Вы же определитесь, он за столом сидел или бухал тут сидел, блядь.
Did it stop at the time of the fire? They had a fight. Why?
Что за медальончик-то? Не дают рассмотреть.
Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How?
А это она же, я не пойму. Ну, я поджечь решил, что самолично. Бля.
If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others?
Действительно, где следы остальных трупов?
Did someone escape the fire? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I think that some of your colleagues should turn in their badges. This room is bursting with evidence that seriously contradicts the official inquiry.
Well, of course, Mr. Holmes. Like what?
I was under the impression the fire started around midnight.
Yes, Silas banged on our door around 1 a.m. Poor devil ran so hard he was almost belching his lungs out.
This clock burned before 10 p.m.
That's impossible. What you imply? Silas never would have hurt the Hawkins family. Besides, Dr. Fuller confirmed the hour of death in his report. Your clock must have already have stopped.
Honestly, you don't find that suspicious?
That's troubling, I have to admit. But I trust Silas. And Dr. Fuller is an authoritative figure. The mainland folks are damned envious that he's here with us. A brilliant surgeon, and a friend of the family. I'm sure he took the matter to heart. So, excuse me if I value his opinion over yours.
So be it. Let's move on. I can tell where young Simon was, but not his parents. Where were their bodies found?
I can't help you on that one. Charles and Sarah's bodies had already been carried away when I got here.
Without your authorization? By whom?
Marshall, Andrews, Chief West. We never deal with cases like that, you know. So... well...
It would seem at least one person fled the crime scene.
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. Someone's hand slid down there. The left side has no mark. The door was open and that someone left.
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles or Sarah, they wouldn't have left their son.
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of calling for help? I don't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
I found a bottle of whiskey. Empty.
Well, that must have been a loss for you.
No glass. I suspect one of them drank heavily to calm down. Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin. Who says that bottle hadn't been there for a while?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
Да, и чем мне думать?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
Опа, опыт дали. Так. Ага. То есть мы что-то найти должны, понятно. Бля, как же он мертво качается-то, ёпта мать. Ну, я так понял, в следующий раз третий будет.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
Да шеф твой пидорас, такой же, как и ты, ёпта.
This door is locked.
Пожар, говорит, начался, а дом вообще, ёпта, целиковый. Ага. О, вот это уже лучше, у нас что-то прокачалось хоть чуть-чуть. И теперь нам можно книжку про сатанистов подсунуть, и мы еще прокачаем оккультизм. И ни хера не хотят нам подсунуть.
These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose?
Опять лампа с марихуаной и непонятно, что тут написано. Да этот гондон ушел-то. Хер, отзовись.
An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818.
Так вот. Понятно, он пришел сюда. Главное не ходить за NPC. Запомните, никогда не ходите за NPC. Сначала все
The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty.
А потом идите за NPC, потому что скотобас уведет вас куда подальше. Блять, нечего тут взять. Сука, лесенку поломали, книжки не почитаем.
An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818.
Да, медицина очень медленно качается. Про оккультизм у нас вообще ни хера нет.
A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies. A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century.
В этой игре книжечки, это хорошо.
One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable. One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings.
Восстание из Рейхал.
Her style sure is recognizable. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep.
20 лет под водой. Ага. Свечка Ганжубаса подожжена.
Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla.
Короче, ничего интересного не удалось найти. Натюрморт, понятно.
What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance.
An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty.
Блять, мы только что здесь были, да, насколько я понимаю? Ну да.
This place was falling apart long before the fire.
If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects.
Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century.
Что-то я не пойму, где я что пропустил.
What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police?
Так, как вам известно, я всегда с огромным уважением относился к вам и к вашей семье. К сожалению, я больше не могу закрывать глаза на поведение вашей жены. На прошлой неделе она вновь распугала мою клиентуру. Я знаю, что она не имеет дурных намерений, но вам не мешало бы поместить ее под надзор доктора Фуллера. Похоже, только он способен вразумить ее. Если же подобные случаи будут повторяться, я буду вынужден хоть обратиться в полицию. Хотя, поверьте, что это станет для меня истинной пыткой. С уважением, всегда ваш Антон Уэллард. Ага. Ну, одно хоть радует, вечная зажигалка у нас есть.
The boys' room.
Ну, опять уходим в сумрак.
A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer. Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family?
Мальчик не особо, видать, человеком был.
What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. Locked. What will her room reveal about her?
Что-то тут, кроме следующей двери, ни хера пощупать нельзя.
This padlock is too complicated for me.
Ну, потому что мудак, ёпта.
This door is locked. Locked.
Но если мы тут ничего не можем найти, туда мы зайти не можем.
This door is locked.
Только что вопросик горел. Но это детская комната. Ёпта. Ребенок бухал.
Locked.
Я что-то понять не могу, что мы должны найти.
Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins
барбитура,
must have been extremely
ёпта.
agitated resorting to such a treatment. It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Сколько можно его, блять, осматривать? Сейчас придем, а там уже шеф полиции зажрали.
A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century.
Хуй ты где?
Did you hear that?
Чё?
What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance. If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects. Did you hear that?
Где и что должен найти? Так. То есть непонятно, да? То есть мы должны методом проб и ошибок
Darkwater history. This place was settled back in a book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century.
Так непонятно, что где мы должны найти.
Locked.
Так, комнату мальчика, походу, мы полностью обыскали. Тут ни хера нет. Ну, кто бы знал.
It's no use. The padlock won't give. This door is locked.
Ну и где, блядь, ее студия? Наверное, по идее-то она вот тут должна быть.
It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Нет, она оказалась тут. Еба. Короче, точно кого-то призывали.
The door is blocked on the other side. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other.
Ну, молодец, чё. Мужик.
This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold.
Нормальные такие ценники-то, ёпти. Неплохо можно жить.
It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting
Моя
worried.
дорогая Сара, с тех
Seems she
пор,
wasn't
как
giving any
оставила
signs of life.
нас и поселилась на этом забытом боге острове, твоей работы интересует коллекционера все сильнее. Умоляю тебя прислать несколько новых картин. Последние мрачные, странные, волнующие, ушли очень дорого. Предлагаю твою долю от продаж. Не забывай своего друга, который первым увидел твой талант и показал его всему миру. С любовью. Максимилиан Л. Ага. Пиздец, они страшные тут. Ну, это не особо, но вот это вообще. Ахтунг, ахтунг. Ключики, хренучки. Короче, спиздить больше нечего.
The door is blocked on the other side. This door is locked.
Чё-то ни черта я больше найти не могу.
Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve?
Ага. Если существо еще не укоренилось в нашем измерении, может помочь ритуал изгнания. При этом проводящий его человек должен нарисовать знак старших среди глифов, составляющий ритуальный круг. Но осторожнее, надежность источников, в которых описывается создание такого круга, не доказана. Выдержка из молота тварей. Абигейл Г.
The door is blocked on the other side.
Ну и что я теперь еще найти должен? Кого-то, короче, тут точно изгоняли, вопрос в том, кого.
Bradley? Is that you?
А окна из дверка открылась. Так я сомневаюсь, что стоит это делать.
Is anyone there?
О, у нас новый фонарик. А вот это уже номер.
You! Stop! Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier.
Where did he go?
Must have got out some way.
No, he was here. I'm sure. Let's search this room. Have you seen the old maritime maps on Charles Hawkins' desk? Seems like this came from a log.
Понедельник, 24 мая 47 года. 42 США, северной широты, западной долготы, остров Даркуотер. Мы все утром ушли на север. Капитан Гамильтон уверен в выбранном курсе. Он говорит, что мы обойдем Орфея в этом сезоне. Да будет Господь милостивый к нам. Воскресенье 30 мая 47 года. 47 градусов северной широты, 55 западной долготы. Я бы предпочел, чтобы киты исчезли без следа. Глядя на их скелеты, мы не можем забыть об их печальной судьбе. Что же пожирает этих огромных зверей? Я говорил Гамильтону, что это дурной знак. Ему наплевать. Вторник, 1 июня 47 года, 49 градусов северной широты, 61 западной долготы. Мы бросили якорь недалеко от деревушки. Местные жители говорят, что вода покраснела от крови священных животных, и что преследовать их значит бросить вызов богам. Я сказал им, что боюсь лишь Творца Всемогущего. На одному в тюрьме мне страшно. Пятница, 4 июня 1047 года, 57 градусов северной широты, 51 западной долготы. Вдалеке мы увидели огромного кита. Кажется, киты такого размера вообще никогда людям не встречались. Он поет дьявольскую песню. Гамильтон хочет его убить. Среда, 23 июня 47 года, 33 северной широты, 53 западной долготы. Мы его поймали. Это самый страшный кит, которого я видел. Его запомнят как самую большую добычу в истории. Люди погибли, но мы победили. Этот день будет праздноваться еще долгие годы. Вторник, 29 июня 47 года. Даркуотер. Мы победили Орфея, который пришел с пустыми трюмами. Теперь будут помнить только Сциллу и Гамильтона. Опа.
This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
Что-то да, я походу очень сильно упустил.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
О, Российская империя. Что-то я охеренно упустил.
Doesn't work. I must have missed.
Так. 33 северный, 53 западный.
As if the bookcase has been moved several times. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. This panel is movable. Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably a secret passage. I must find a way to activate the opening mechanism. Great. I managed to force the gears. Looks like I've triggered something.
Well done, Pierce.
Чё, какое новое место? Ни хера себе очков не давали. Звездоболить мы не будем. Нам психологию надо изучить.
Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well.
Что-то тут
I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph.
дело пахнет
Probably
керосином.
another friend of Hawkins. They look like Celtic runes. Charles must have brought them back from one of his foreign trips. It looks like an old seaway map.
Так. Что-то, короче, из этого надо выбрать. Только чё, хер пойми. Даркуотер.
Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. As if the bookcase has been moved several times.
Что-то, короче, эту херню больше двигать нельзя. Я, короче, не мозгами, но силой догадался, как это сделать. Охренеть. Прикольно. Бля, пиздатый плащик.
Secret passage under the manor. It's like a detective novel. That guy must have
Действительно, как в
already gotten
детективном
far.
романе.
Yeah, and he had a direct means of entry to the crime scene. We must find him.
What is this place?
В общем, что я могу
More than
сказать,
just a
ребят?
tunnel.
Но я бы не сказал, что пока что-то тут какое-то страшное, что-то ужасное
Someone's been here
происходит.
recently.
Ну, в принципе, забавно сделан такой детектив. Что-то какая-то раскачка. Пока что, в принципе, ни оружия, ни хера мы не нашли. Будет ли оно, неизвестно. Но игра, в принципе, интересно затягивает. Тут, ну, сюжетная, такая детективная пока что игрушка. Не знаю, возможно, дальше будет хуже и страшнее. Мне, в принципе, понравилось. Возможно, я начну прохождение вот как раз с 4 главы. Вот мы в нашем первом взгляде в Вердикте дошли вот до 4 главы. В принципе, ну, довольно интересно. Единственное, и я минус отмечу этой игры, слишком яркая и красочная, да, это как бы не атмосфера Лавкрафта, что-то здесь должно было быть такое более тускноватое. Вот, опять же, вспоминаю игру, которую я сравниваю с этой, это «Вампир». Вот там вот были такие, вот они потускневшие краски, вот, которые подошли бы, кстати, вот сюда. Вот так игра, в принципе, интересна. Ну, посмотрим, что будет дальше. Я как бы продолжу играть. Меня как бы потихонечку затянуло. Я как бы очень много читал по Лавкрафту книжек. Не знаю, чем дальше это все окончится, но пока что вот оно идет на уровне, потому что много книжек по Лавкрафту, они начинались, вот они идут, вот это вот, ну, как бы просто повествование, что-то, какие-то мифы, еще что-то, оно не кидает вас сразу в атмосферу там мерзких монстров, еще чего-то. Ну, у него очень много историй были, которые, в принципе, по большей части повествовали, ну, как бы раскрывали мир, но не обязательно, что там был какой-то прям экшен, страх и ужас. Нет, все потихонечку раскрывалось. Возможно, здесь то же самое. В общем-то, это мы увидим дальше. На этом, наверное, мы подведем наш первый взгляд. Наш вердикт. Игра стоит того, чтобы в нее поиграть. Я не знаю, купите вы ее или нет, или просто скачаете. Но вот поиграйте, вот. Серьезно, я думаю, что здесь, в зависимости от того, как вы качаете свои фишки, бонусы и плюсы. Ну, на этом-то, в общем-то, все. С вами были GameTalk и Агмарил. До скорых встреч.
Ha 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 ha!